Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be specifically about the Health and Wellness Summit that I went to, which is the Don't Die Bryan Johnson Summit that is going on right now. I went to the Los Angeles one, which was yesterday, Saturday, January 18, 2025, and so he's doing a number of summits around the world. I wanted to share with you everything that I have learned and share the knowledge, share the experience. I also met Bryan, and I'm gonna tell you if it's worth going to it or not. So I went with the premium tickets, which included as well the after party. So I get the chance to meet with Bryan, took a photo with him, had a quick chat, and it was really, really fun. So let's get into it. So the schedule of the whole day, I'm gonna put it on the screen. The location was in downtown in LA. It's Magic Box The Reef. It's the same location as BeautyCon and many other events take place over there. So there is 2 floors. The ground floor is like the admission. I had a premium ticket, so the line was a lot shorter than the general admission. If you take a general admission ticket, I would recommend you to get there a lot earlier, an hour or 2 earlier, because there is a very long line. The maximum amount of people is 1,000, so you have an idea. And so the way the event was structured is that in the morning you get in, you first get the merch, which is this t-shirt here, and then you would walk into floor where they displayed the food. So the whole idea is to eat like Bryan. So in the morning there was nutty pudding, which I'm gonna put a photo of, as well as the ingredients. And there also was multiple types of juices, 3 different kind of juice, which was pretty cool. And then we had about an hour to go upstairs and have a look at all of the vendors. So the vendors are different companies that Bryan uses, and his team has selected the best of the best vendors in each section, whether it's a DNA test, mattress, anything like that, gut test. And so he had them all over there. And so there was also this oxygen chamber, which was very cool and very futuristic. And so the goal was to have a chat with every single, vendor, try a few machines, try a few things. I wanted to, so with the premium tickets, you're supposed to not have to line up, which was not the case. So I did have to line up for everything, and so I couldn't, unfortunately, do the oxygen chamber because there were so many people lining up. And the thing is, at 10:30 there was the morning rave, which in my opinion that was the best of the best of the event. So we got there, and there was this DJ, it's DJ Audiomo. He put this music and it was so fun. So you enter the room and you will see some photos, some videos. There was balls coming at us everywhere, and then we had these fun glasses, and it was very, very fun. And the whole point is to prove that you can have fun, you can dance without drinking alcohol. And honestly, it was really the best because we could really, jump and dance, and it really made me think that I should implement a morning rave in my own morning routine, because it's so cool. It's such a cool way to start the day. It's a practice that you can even see Tony Robbins does in his seminars. So it's such a cool thing. And it was a whole hour. And at some point, Bryan showed up with Talmage, and they were on the floor with us, dancing among everybody else, which was amazing. It's so cool to really have that experience and dance with everyone as a community. And so the whole point of this event is really he said to us, Bryan said, you guys know what to do. You know what is the principles of these lifestyles, you know, that you have to prioritize sleep, etc. At the end of the day, we have the information. If you haven't, watch the documentary on Netflix and you will know what to do. And so he said the whole point of the event is the community aspect of it, because community is a huge component of health and wellness. And it's just so much easier to have a healthy lifestyle when you have a community around you that has the same values and the same practices. And so the whole point of the event was to meet other people, have fun. And so that was really such a cool experience. So then after the morning rave, there was a 30-minute quick welcome by Bryan, where he said exactly what I've just mentioned, that the whole point was the community aspect of it. He highly encouraged everybody to chit-chat with each other and really build this community, and how important that is. And so after that, it was the lunchtime. So the lunch has been cooked by a chef. Again, it is exactly what Bryan eats, but they did add chicken. So you had the super veggie meal, and then you had the same with chicken. The chicken was cooked with ginger and garlic. The food was absolutely delicious. It was lentils with cauliflowers, broccolis, many other things. I'm gonna add the ingredients and the info for you as well if you wanna get to it as well. And so it's also what he offers with his brand Blueprint. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. So the VIP section was very much similar to the general admission section in terms of the lunch. I mean, the lunch in the general admission, you had boxes. And if you went to the VIP, you could just serve yourself. It was kind of a self-service, but it's a lot smaller, less people. And yeah, it's fun. So I would go to both spaces. And so after that, basically when you get into the event, they give you a wristband, which I'm gonna bring to you right now. So when you get to the event, you get this. So this is the Don't Die. This is premium access. General access, I believe, is blue. And so everybody, this is something that I'm gonna come to now very shortly. And so all day, that's what we wear. And the thing is, everybody, like, I look like I'm a staff member, kind of. I mean, I wasn't wearing this shirt, but everybody had this around their neck. So it was a little bit difficult to find staff or other members. Sometimes I was looking for staff to ask a question and everybody was kind of dressed in a certain way. So that was a little bit confusing. And so when you arrive into the event, they gave me this wrist. Everybody had one. As you can see in the agenda, there is various groups. So there's group 1, 2, 3 hours, group number 5, and that group is in order to do the BioAge test. And so you have a time as well, a time. And so everybody has a different group, every group has a different time. And so my time was 1:30. So after lunch, I went right up upstairs. And so upstairs we were with personal trainers, and the goal was to do this BioAge test, which I'm going to explain to you everything. So if you're interested in doing it and calculating your BioAge, you can do it as well. Because you're part of my community, so if you enjoy this content, please subscribe and like and leave me a comment. So let's get through it. So this is how to calculate the BioAge test. Basically, there is a pen here, and so there is 7 markers that will calculate your BioAge. So 7 markers is 7 types of different exercises. And so the first exercise is the push-ups. So the push-ups exercise is how many push-ups can you do in 1 minute time. For a woman, the goal is 20. For a man, the goal is 40. And so when you finish You put your timer at home right now. You can do it. You can pause this video. You can do it. You can just do as many push-ups as you can. You can also do the push-ups on your knees. In that case, you're going to have to put an M in front of the number, and then you will have to message them because I don't know how to do the calculation. But if you do actual normal push-ups, you just put the number. So in my case, I did 17 push-ups in 1 minute without pausing. So it's important for you to be honest with yourself and, you know, don't pause. And so you put that. So that's the number one data that you need. The second one is sit and reach. I'm going to put it on the screen. Sit and reach. So sit and reach. So you're gonna sit on the mat. You're gonna see the mat had some measurements, and so you have your feet need to be before the one. There is a one, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so there is the number 1, and just before that there is a stripe. So right before you put your feet over there, and then so I'm gonna insert a photo. So you have to fold over and go as far as you can with your hands, and the goal is to stay over 3 seconds on a number. The furthest I could go is the number 2. So then you put the number. If you're number 1, if you're number 10, you just put your number. That's another biomarker of age. The third one is reaction and reflex. Reaction and reflex. So you had to hold the ruler, and so another person had to hold. So we were paired with another person, and so they hold the ruler. You have your hand right under the ruler. So let me demonstrate. This is a mask. I live in LA. The fires are crazy. So let's say this is a ruler with all of the centimeters, right? You hold it like this, and so this is somebody holding, and this is my hand. And so my goal is to catch it. So whenever they leave it, I have to catch it. And so the bottom is like the number 1. So when I catch it, it's like 20. It took me like all this time to catch it. And so you do it 3 times, and you choose the least, like the smallest number that you have done in 3 times. So you need another person for this specific test. So that's another information. And then once you have that, the reaction reflex, you have to download the Don't Die app, enter that information, and it's going to give you a ratio that you're going to need for the end of your calculation. So you have to, so my number was 17, and then I had to calculate a ratio on the app, which was 0.18. And so then that's going to help you calculate your age. Number 4 is waist to height measurements. So you have to measure the smallest part of your waist, and then you put the number, and then you go on Google and you put waist to height measurements or ratio, and it's going to give you a ratio, and so you have to write the ratio. Okay, that's the most technical part. Then there is sit and rise. I'm gonna insert a video of the sit and rise. And so there was a personal trainer that would pass and look at everybody doing the sit and rise, and they would say, you are a 5, you're a 10. For your information, I was a 10. Thank God, I was super happy. I'm a 10. So if you struggle more than me, maybe you are 5, maybe you are 6, maybe you are a 10, or you do it even easier than me. But I'm a 10, so at least you have an idea. If somebody could still do it but struggled, kind of, they didn't have to touch the floor with their hand, but they struggled a little bit, they were a 6, someone that I saw. So just to give you an idea, I'm sure if you do some research, you will find this test as well, but that's my knowledge. The one leg stand is you have to stand. Let me do it. You have to stand like this, and then you have to put your feet on your calf, and you have to close your eyes, and you put a timer. And so how long can you last without wiggling with your eyes closed? Is it 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds? And even if you wiggle a little bit, that's when you have to stop. That's the data. And then the grip strength, so you have to have a machine. You do it 3 times and you choose the highest number. Then, if you download the Don't Die app, it's super easy. You go to measurement, you enter all of this information, and it's going to calculate your bio age. So if you do it, please let me know in comment. Let me know if you need any additional information, and I hope this was helpful. But I really love that because you really can't fake it. If you can't stand up and sit down without your hands, if you can't do a certain amount of push-ups, I feel like it's something that's tangible, that you can't fake, and that you can always work on it. So it's very motivating for me to keep working on my strength training, but as well as my flexibility, as well as cardio. And it just shows how important it is in your exercise routine to incorporate everything and not just one part, not just one strength and no flexibility. You really need everything. And so that's what I really liked in these teachings. And so then we had a speech from Bryan that was from 2 to 3:30. Where Bryan was on stage. Talmash joined him at some points, and he was on stage and he told us about mindset things and routine things, and really his message was, let me just see. So really his message is he wants to be, or he is a gold medal champion of health. So there is not an Olympic sport in health. And so that's pretty much what he is and what he wants to create and what he's creating, which I love. So basically the whole thing is to create systems around health where your health is the number one priority of your life. And the whole point is to create systems where you completely take your mind out of the equation when you take any decisions. And so it's all about creating systems. And so in terms of the number one priority is sleep, which is personally my goal. This year I want to prioritize sleep. This year, just a little, message in the middle of all this, I decided to go to this summit because last year in 2024 I got invited to a wellness event, and I was doing dry January, and I was like, oh, sounds fun, it was in Santa Monica by the beach. And I went, and honestly it impacted my whole year because I never went back. It was pretty much a dry January the whole year, and I never went back to drinking anything with sugar. And I just felt so good and so much better. And I just thought, you know what? I think it's really great I know it's really great to do a wellness or health or any type of goals that you have and do an event like that in January just to reinforce any of your intentions, meet people that are doing it, that just think like you and have that community aspect, and just feel supported in general and even inspired by things that you haven't even thought of. So in my opinion, the best way is really beginning of the year. You can do it anytime. You don't have to wait January to take new decisions, but I love that for a routine for myself, and it's something that I've been doing and I'm gonna keep doing. And so the number one priority is sleep, and so he sees it as his profession, being a professional sleeper. And so for that, he has a certain routine, which is the 2 hours before sleep. He wouldn't like right now because I'm filming at night, and he wouldn't like the fact that I have a light on my face. But I believe it's not even 7 p.m. yet. But anyways, he says 2 hours before sleep. So Bryan sleeps at 8:30 p.m. like religiously every single night. So 2 hours before sleep, he says they are very important. So it's very important to rest your heart rate down, whatever your routine is, whether you are going to meditate or read or anything, but really being conscious of, lowering your heart rate, maybe by putting some, meditation music around, dimming the lights everywhere. He completely avoids blue lights, and it's only red lights or amber lights from 1 hour before sleep to his sleep time. He also says consistently is super important, because with that your body is just gonna fall asleep automatically, like at the exact time. And also caution with stimulants such as coffee, etc., and having a wind down routine. That was a funny story that he did mention. He said so when he goes to bed, usually he has the anxious Bryan that wakes up and gets to him and say, hey Bryan, you said something today, I'm sure these people hate you. And he says, oh, thank you very much, anxious Bryan, but now I'm going to sleep, so we will deal with it tomorrow. And then he says when he puts his head on his pillow, he has this amazing business idea. And so he says that's his ambitious Bryan. Every time he goes to bed, he comes up, he shows up. And so he says, thank you very much for being so ambitious and for making so many things happen in my life and for all the success. But right now it is time to sleep, and I'm going to deal with this tomorrow. So he kind of has this routine, and I thought this story was super fun and so relatable as well. And so the number one priority is exercise. And he said something that I truly believe in. It is exercise every single day. And basically the motto is, it is never worth it. It is never worth it to eat that cookie. It is never worth it to eat that fast food, and it is never worth it to miss your sleep time. So it's kind of the idea that he wants to put in us all. And so I really agree with the exercise every single day. And so I love the fact that he did mention exactly what is a representation of this test, because he did say that he works on strength as well as flexibility as well as cardio. So it's really like a holistic way of 1 hour of exercise, and doing it in a holistic way where you work out everything. And so he also mentioned something that I am absolutely working on this year, absolutely, is the posture. So he explained that his posture used to be so bad that his vein would stop working, and they would worry that he gets a stroke. Doctors would worry and tell him that. And so he explained that every time we have to be always so straight, and it's definitely something that I want to work on. A very close friend of mine as well, her dad is a plastic surgeon, and she was saying that if you're worried in terms of beauty, the best thing you can do for your face is to have a good posture, because having a bad posture is really bad for the face, and I couldn't agree more. So it's definitely something that I need to prioritize this year. For me, it's gonna be sleep and posture. I'm gonna keep it simple. And so he explained, every time like you're like this, and he says they always say around his home with tile mesh, he says zip, and when he says zip, they go up. So it's funny because today a few times I've been thinking of zip, zip, so just to put myself back together. And so I thought that was a pretty cool tactic. Something that I really loved is that then they did a women health segment. And so they explained that obviously women have different bodies than men. We have different hormones, we have a cycle, and so there was a doctor as well that was talking about that. And so he mentioned that for female health, the most important supplements to take are iron, as well as calcium, vitamin D, and folate. And in terms of exercise, the most important is pelvic floor and strength training. And so they also mentioned something that I really liked because I found it so simple the way that they have explained it. So from the moment that you have your period to ovulation, it is the most important moment to go all out on strength training, as well as eating carbs and doing high intensity workouts because of the estrogen and insulin sensitivity. So basically from period to ovulation, it is the time to go all out on high intensity training, weight training, eating carbs, and because of the insulin and estrogen level, it's going to be the easiest way to recover faster. Yeah, just recover faster, and the metabolism is going to be faster and stronger. And then from ovulation to the next period, it is the 2 weeks and the best moment for low impact workout, low intensity workouts such as yoga, etc., and eating less carbs and more protein because of the progesterone levels. I personally use an app which is called Lively. It is not sponsored, and I find that they're really good. They help me to choose what type of workout I should do, but this has made it even more simple because it's like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, so it's kind of easy to remember where you are at. There was also a part that I really loved where he explained how to look at studies by yourself, to go on some website, look at ADHD or whatever issues you have or whatever supplements that you want to check. Are they effective? Are they not on female, for example? And so he said that, you can go on that website, how to do the research, and then use the research paper to put on ChatGPT to understand it. And I also loved that a doctor was explaining how to choose a physician. When you want to do, when you want a procedure made, what question to ask in order to choose a physician and making a very well-informed decision on who you want to work with. And so, for example, by asking questions such as, how long have you been practicing these techniques? How many patients have you practiced these techniques on? How many, what is your success rate? And asking these questions, because often we can think, oh, a doctor is a doctor, but no, it's really not like that. You really have to choose, because at the end of the day, doctors are human beings as well. So it was very empowering to learn about that. If you have any questions, leave me comments and I can go dig deeper into it as well. And there was also a message that he said that I really loved. He said that now AI is doing all the discovering and the knowing, and so the highest intelligence as a human is to not know. And that was pretty much it. And then after that, we did a chanting all together. It was a karaoke. I'm going to insert a video. It was so fun. And it was a very beautiful experience. After that, I went to the after party. That was really fun as well. I could reconnect with some of the people that I met during the day. And I met another person as well that works at TikTok. I met, and I could talk with Bryan, take a photo with him that you're gonna see here. And so it was very brief because you know how the guy is serious about his sleep, but it was really fun. And so we were so glad to go home because I think it was such a full day and it was a lot of emotions. At the end, we did a big group hug, and it was very, very beautiful. We did, it was very, very beautiful. And so Bryan said that he really wants us to do one thing a week, like one walk a week in LA, for example. And so with one of the girls that I connected, we did plan a walk for next week. On Saturday, we said we were going to do a hike. Hopefully we can still do it because, the fires in LA is kind of crazy these days. but we are really excited. We joined the Don't Die app. So if you want to join the Don't Die app, you can do it. It's free. You can do it. And we are going to put the walks in there so we can do walks, together once a week. And he really insisted about the community. So if you ask me if it was worth it, honestly, it's I think it's always, these type of things are always worth it. If you can do it, I think you should. And it's all about the community aspect. For example, I also met another person that lives in Seattle. So we connected on social, and I just think that it's great to meet different people, and it's all about the community aspect. So if you think that you're gonna go to the event and learn something that he didn't say before, maybe I did learn a few things about the systems, and I can see myself today, I feel more inspired. So just to give you an example, today, the day after the event, I got my workout done, I scripted this video, I'm filming this video, I'm gonna get ready to go to bed very soon, and I'm just inspired, and it's just so exciting. So I think that definitely if you want to do it. If you live in the city where you're gonna do it, it's great too, so you can connect and make new friends and meet new people. And let me know what you think, if you have any additional questions. At the end of the day, when I look back at it, we danced, we laughed, we sang. It was really, really cool. So it was a lot of fun, and we also ate super well. Oh, in the program, it says food all day. That's wrong. The food stopped at, I would say, after lunch, stopped, no more food. So I was starving, and I could go home before the after party and then, eat something and go. But otherwise, I was starving. But I guess that's what Bryan does. So I'm not there yet, but be mindful that not, unless they change that, they're not going to be food all day like it's mentioned on the event paper. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched until now, please leave me a brown heart on the comments. I would really appreciate it. And please subscribe and comment and follow me on Instagram. I'm always going to be sharing about wellness, health, if you want to keep motivated and, keep doing what's good for you and just be inspired. Follow me. Take care. And I see you soon. Bye.
So this is, as you know, this is our third summit. I mentioned this before. And I just want to say today was an absolute banger. It hit. Is that true? Was that true with your experience? Yes. The rave was on point. The music was on point.
Yes! Audio mode! DJ!
Yeah. Everywhere you turn, the next person you meet is amazing.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yes.
The quality of the people in this community is incredible. So yeah, thank you all very much for being here. People came here from all over the world. Like I heard 10 or 20 countries today. They came in for the day. And so the devotion to be here. And I guess I want to say that you all